Hey, what's up, everybody? Agamatsu here. Today I'm going to be talking about why Freshies will be quitting Rogue when it comes to Deepwoken. So, for starters, everybody knows that like Deepwoken's coming out pretty soon, fall 2021, and a lot of people are like speculating, like, oh, what's going to happen to Rogue after Deepwoken drops? Are they going to return to Rogue? Are they going to quit Rogue for good? Well, one thing I can guarantee you that I think is probably going to happen, in my opinion, is that a lot of the Permafreshies are going to permanently quit Rogue. Now, I think it's fair to say that like 40 to 50% of Rogue's player base right now are Permafreshies, and these also include like the guys who are like super classes who have never gotten their ultras, right? Like they struggle to get an ultra, or they're the freshie ultras that get it and then like they wipe 2 days after. All those like people, right? These guys are probably gonna like quit Rogue lineage for good once Deepwoken drops, right? So the thing about Rogue is that PvP progression is required in order to get your class quickly. Like, of course, you can do the quest over and over again, but that would require like literally like 20, 30 hours of waiting, which nobody wants to do that. That's really pointless. So it is like PvP based. Now the thing with Deepwoken is that it's purely, at the moment, well, actually, not necessarily. The thing about Deepwoken though is that you can progress through PvP or PvE. So it gives the players the options to not really have to interact with anybody and or set up safe servers if they want, where it's just all people and then progress through PvE if they really wanted to, right? And so when it comes to that aspect of Deepwoken, a lot of people are going to be like turned on by the fact that like, yo, wait, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Like I don't really have to interact with players, right? So they're going to want to max out their characters through PvE alone. Like that's it. You know what I mean? Why would you go back to Rogue Lineage? Especially considering that a lot of the other like freshies are going to quit. There's literally going to be no way for you to solo progress. Like you're only going to be returned to like Rogue players who still gank on their ultras because I don't know, they either don't like Deepwoken combat or they're nostalgic of the Rogue combat after a while, or I don't know, blended the two. You're really just going to be returning to like no freshies, all ultras. It's literally going to be like Asia, except everywhere. I think that's a good way to put it when Deepwoken drops. It's just going to be Asia, but everywhere this time. And what I mean by that is like solo progression is extremely difficult, and there's gonna be a lot of empty servers or a lot of servers flooded with ultras just fighting, right? That's usually what it is in Asia, and I think that's also what's gonna happen to a majority of rogue servers, in my opinion. Of course, you might still have those freshies that are like, yo, there's no players, like I can, nobody's gonna grip me, I can finally get my ultra class. But why would you be like going for your ultra class when your friends are literally playing Deepwoken? Maybe like a couple months after like Deepwoken drops, you're like, I kind of want to go back and get my ultra class. And yeah, sure, there might be like that 1,000 to maybe 1,500 people playing, but in reality, bro, like when Deepwoken drops, it's gonna have a solid 10 to like 5K players for a long time. And they're constantly going to be updating the game too. So you're going to be playing a game that's going to be constantly updated versus like a game that is probably not really going to get that like no support after Deepwoken drops, especially if Deepwoken does really well. So like, why would they continue to update Rogue Lineage? Like, a lot of people look at Rogue, scorn Rogue. A lot of the old players who played Rogue who quit are going to be going to Deepwoken. A lot of other players, like people who make videos, like Infernosi's fan base, IB Main's fan base, Nano's fan base, a lot of like Sly Hogget, all those fan bases are going to be playing Deepwoken because their favorite creators are making content on the game. So there's so much more possibilities when it comes to like player interactions in Deepwoken versus Rogue. There's gonna be a lot less toxicity when it comes to like at least freshies, because a lot of that fan base are gonna be like young kids who don't really have like that PvP/toxic side just yet. And you're not really going to be interacting with that many toxic players when, there's like 10,000 people playing the game. A lot of people are going to be like, yo, Rogue Lineage is going to take over Deepwoken, it's going to be super toxic. And in some aspects, it will be really toxic. But in other aspects, it's just going to be like a bunch of kids, man. Like a bunch of kids in a server, you know what I mean? When you have that many players, like it's just going to be like a lot of kids in a server. Yeah, sure, there might be those like toxic guys who go around trying gripping everybody. But like in reality, if there's that many people playing, there's bound to be toxicity, but there's also bound to be a lot of freshies and people who are going to be young and not know what they're doing, and that's going to appeal to the people who are Permafreshies and Rogue. So they're gonna be like, yo, I can finally progress to max without having to worry about that shit. Finally, my final reason as to why Rogue Freshies will probably quit for good is because everybody starts off on an even playing field, right? In Rogue, if you were to start playing Rogue right now, you're so far behind. You like to get your max build, Lannis, Gate, you need to get your ultra class first, of course. All these things you need to max out your build is going to take a lot of time to catch up to and to get the skill, but to get the skill to be able to fight at that level. Versus Deepwoken, everybody's not going to know what they're doing. Everybody's going to be a freshie when they first start off. and then it's really even at that point. Of course, you know, a lot of people would argue, well, I mean, like, the reason they're Permafreshies is because they suck at the game, so they're probably going to suck at Deepwoken, but it's a different game. Just because you suck at Rogue does not mean you're going to be, it does not mean you're going to be trash at Deepwoken, and just because you're good at Rogue does not mean you're going to be good at Deepwoken. It probably varies. But generally speaking, if you're like really struggling on Rogue, trust me, there's probably going to be a lot better of a chance of you succeeding in Deepwoken, just because PvP is like not the main focus of the progression. Like, you don't really have to like go through that path. You can do PvE instead. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk, guys. 5-minute video, just me talking about it, because somebody said, we were having a debate about it, somebody said like this is not going to happen, but it's just my personal opinion. So we'll see when the game comes out. If a lot of freshies do go back to Rogue, then hey man, it is what it is. But in my opinion, if I was a Permafreshie and I played Deepwoken, I would drop it. I would never touch Rogue again. Anyway, that's all for today's video. I'll see you guys later. Peace.